Greetings, I'm the Waznaki, and in this video I'll be eating scones. In some countries it's called buns, I think, or some other words. Anyway, where I'm from, they're called scones. I'll be just having a discussion, and in this Waznaki Talks video I'll be talking about scones, which I've been eating them since I was a wee child, wee lad. So first you do is you use your knife to cut the scones in half, right through the centre. It's very important that you cut them exactly through the centre, so as not to break them up, but also do it in a very slow motion. Also be careful not to cut your fingers. Best not use too much of a sharp knife, just in case. A knife like this would be the best to cut scones with. After we finish cutting the scones, on the scones, you get the butter, and you put the butter on the scones, like so. Make sure not to use too much butter, as butter can be very fattening. So just, well, you can see about that much butter for each scone. Also a tip, it's probably best that if you're making scones to make sure you leave the butter out for about 50 minutes as to thaw out the butter, because when the butter is in the fridge it is very solid and cold, so it's best to leave the butter out for 10 minutes for it to soften up as to make it much easier to put on the scones. At the moment the butter that I'm currently using is very rock solid, so now, as you can see, the human is putting butter on the scones in a majestic fashion. The butter gets on scones. Probably should have waited to thaw out the butter as not to be solid rock. And we open the butter. The butter go open, deliciously creamy it says on it. Contains milk, because butter is made from milk. So basically eggs, milk. Sorry, eggs, milk plus eggs, plus we're going to have a glass of milk. So mostly eating milk products, milk, dairy. Now for the final scone. Might as well use all the butter. Tip. When you're making scones, it's best to eat them as quick as possible, because when they're nicely freshly done, they're nice and warm and they're more delicious. When they're just freshly done, then say if you wait a day or a couple of about 3 hours later. So it's best to eat them straight away, because the butter melts right into the scones and makes it extremely delicious. But it's still as delicious even without it though, but just a little tip if you want it, the scones at its purest form, eat about 15 minutes afterwards, they're baked and done. Now, for some milk or banya. Low fat milk, low fat banya. There you go. It's low in fat, it's low fat. You have different types of milk. You have fat milk or whole milk. I think whole milk. Then you have low fat milk. Then you have slimline milk. Then you have protein milk. Then you have low protein milk. Then you have super milk. Vitamin D milk. Some also type of milks. Strawberry milk. Chocolate milk. This is low fat milk. I can taste the butter. I'll put that on this. Hey, come on, get him out. Also, tip as well when you're eating food, don't eat too fast. Otherwise you'll choke and be like, oh my god, I ate too much food, oh my god, I'm choking, someone give me the Heimlich, someone give me the Heimlich. You definitely don't want to do that, so it's best to take a little bite of a scone, like so. And time for it to digest in your body. And wait for a moment of time to get the sip of milk or water to allow it to flush down your throat. If you overeat, you're more likely to choke and end up in the emergency department. So it's best not to eat your food too fast. I recommend you should at least take about 5 to 10 to 15 minutes eating food. Anything more, if you eat your food in another 3 minutes, you have high probability of suffering severe problems with your throat, your stomach, as the food has been washed down too fast for your body to process, which is very important to eat it in small doses, small bite size. Let it digest, let for it to digest, then take another bite. Wait for it to digest. Also, another advice, when you're eating food, don't talk at the same time, otherwise you choke. So let's cap this off. 1, don't eat too fast, you'll choke. Number 2, don't talk while you're eating, you'll choke. Number 3, make sure that when you take bite sizes of your food and then drink it down with water or milk. Or I would actually recommend water. Water is way better. That's kind of helping the process swallow it down because it isn't as solid of a liquid. Milk is more solid, so it's much harder for it to swallow down your pathways of your throat, down into your system, down your throat, down here, down into your stomach. So if you're ever eating food, I recommend water or something that's not as liquidy, as solid as milk. Also, very important to feel the food that's going through your body and to appreciate the food that you're eating. Funny fact about the wise Naki, I don't like eating foods. I only eat food as, if I don't eat food, I die. So it's more survival, I eat food. I'm not like many people, if you observe them, they have a high sensation of the taste buds when they eat food, and they might like take a small bit of a food and then they have like what I call a food orgasm. They go, oh my god, it's so delicious. Oh my god, oh my god. And everyone does that. It's just, it's funny, you know. If you ever go to restaurants, I don't go to restaurants so, but if you ever go to restaurants and if you know some people, their reaction differently when they taste food, they might have heightened senses of taste. You know, I have very heightened sense of taste, but you'll never hear me go, because the moment I'm aware of the sensation of taste, I immediately stop myself, because I just don't want to go, like eating that, like food, go, oh my god, delicious, like that. Such pleasure in eating food, I find that funny. I consider this nothing but energy for me to survive. If I could live without food, I would. Unfortunately, I can't. Food and water, you need that for survival. Your body needs fuel in order to do things. So obviously this is just fuel, like a car. Like a car with petrol. That's what I see this as. This is fuel for me to eat, for me to go, for me to move, for my body to move, for my arms to move, needs food to consume, to go move like that. You never, like, you have people who have, like, you know, social media accounts and they'll post their foods up and then, look what I'm eating today. And I find that quite amusing, because that's how they choose to use their time. Look, food, I post food, get likes and shares and stuff. Ooh, look, I'm eating scones today. Or it might be like chicken or some like exotic dish, and look, please like the food I'm eating currently. And like, whether it be like Twitter or Facebook or all these other platforms, and that's what people choose to use their time, just use, ooh, food, and I find that amusing. It's good comedy for me though. Just, it makes me think like our ancestors, like, did they imagine their descendants years later that would be like posting like photos of food? I'm very funny. No, this homeboy is funny though, but yeah, I don't like food. I despise food. I only eat food as a way to survive, and that's it. Maybe other people are like me, like eating food. That's okay, but in my personal opinion, I just consider food just fuel to survive, and that's it. I do admit that I do appreciate a lot of the hard work that goes into making food, more than the food itself. Like the time and energy it takes to like cook, to bake. To me, that is way more of a high value than the food itself, or the eating of the food. I think the preparation of cooking and preparing food itself, the art of that, I appreciate more than actually the consumption of the food. Because I tried to bake. I can tell by baking. I can just tell by it involves like using your hands and getting the thing, and just terrible at that, and just off at baking. Well, cooking. Baking those layers. I actually I'm going to do a YouTube video sometime where I'm going to attempt to bake, and it's going to be utter hilarious. Why is Nike attempts baking? Bacon. No, bacon's meat. Bacon. Is it bacon? Bacon. I'm probably using the wrong word. Bacon, that's it. Why is Nike attempts bacon? Of scones or cakes. So I'm going to attempt to do that probably next year. So I'm going to do like a whole cooking series of the Wise Naki cooking series, bacon series. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video of me just eating scones, talking about scones and food. Probably going to have more videos like this where we're just talking about food and just, you know, trying to make sense of it all and just have a bit of humour. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it made you laugh or you found it a bit educational or both. So. Thanks very much for watching.